Like, fam, being someone that's from the cloth I'm from, yeah, I don't feel this game, innit? Like, the things that go on in this game, this is not me, fam. Like, it's not me, innit? Like, there's like, I appreciate realness, I appreciate certain little things, and appreciate loyalty, and for myself as a person, like, I feel like there's more, like, there's a whole nother world out there, like, there's a whole nother world that I've seen, that I think a lot of people, like, a lot of us, we limit ourselves to this, innit? Like, you might see a couple people on a level, like, there's two different levels, innit? There's a level of success, yeah, and there's a level of inner happiness, innit? Yeah, and what makes your soul happy. And on a level of success, there's no one in this game that, yeah, and what makes your soul happy. And on a level of success, there's no one in this game that inspires you, understand, to say, anyone that's doing gangster rap, underground rap, there's no one where I'm gonna say he's mashing peas or he's made it. If I'm as successful as him, then I can make a living, or I'm alright. And like, if you're in the hood, get yourself out the hood, so to speak. Yeah, there's no one, fam. Yeah, there's no one, fam. So you say like, it's just like, fam, the whole thing is fugazi. No one ain't mashing peas off of music. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying to you? So if anything, it looks good from the outside to people that don't know. They see cars, they see rollies, they see all of these things, but it doesn't mean nothing. It's all fake. It doesn't mean nothing. Not that people haven't got rollies or we haven't got rollies, because we own rollies and cars and got a bit of money and that, but fam, it's not from music. Yeah, that's the reality, innit? It's not from music. No one ain't making no music money, and people are getting a buzz and making a bit of noise, and that's it, fam. It ain't nothing more than that, fam. Yeah. So it's fugazi. It's put money into music, that you're not even necessarily gonna make back from music, and that's on a success level, and on the inner happiness level, fam, I'm getting older, innit? I've already said to myself, that I've got other priorities, innit? And I've already said to myself, do you know what, when you get to a certain age, fam, you can't be doing what the kids are doing. You get it? You can't be in front of a camera rapping about how much work man's put in, gassing up kids, even though it's reality, but there's better things that man could be doing. You get what I'm trying to say? That's true. So they're selling like a wrong image to the kids. Obviously, like, at the end of the day, and there's kids that are literally taking man as role models, in it, that really want to follow in man's footsteps, and whatever man's done, they want to go and do what man's done for real life. You get what I'm trying to say? So how sad is it? There's people doing that, and you're not even making no money anyway, and you're misguiding a bag of people. And most man, they've got kids of their own, fam. You get what I'm trying to say? But they want the best for their kids. So it's a big contribution. That's what I'm saying. That's why the cycle's vicious, though. Because we want better for our kids, but you're promoting the wrong image. Fam. Man's kids, I got kids, and my kids could never see what I do or know what I do. But if everyone's doing that with that mentality, that they're not going to show their kids what they're doing, their kids are going to see it somewhere, innit? Not that man can. I'm not trying to save the world, you know, fam. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to save the world, but I'm saying me personally, fam. It don't bring me any happiness, innit? Any work I put in, anything I've done, that's my own battle, my battle of my soul, and I don't need to show it to the world. You get me? And tell the world, do this and trap and put in work and do this and do that. You get what I'm trying to say? Everyone's got their own struggles, but I'm not a role model, and my happiness is not in this thing, fam. Like, it looks good from the outside, that man's shining, kids see me, and they think, right, he's gone there or he's made it or whatever, but inside, fam, half of the man them that's in this thing are probably not even happy anyway, fam. That's the truth, fam. That's the truth, blood, because at the end of the day, people are just watching YouTube or TV or whatever, and seeing man on YouTube and TV, but they don't really know what people are really their true inner feelings unless you chat to them, man. You get me? It's all deception. It's all the deception, fam. You get what I'm trying to say? And it's just lost souls delivering more quotes, man, just making the world, just making other people lost, man.
That's like, because that's how the world is set up. It's like it's a human trait to kind of like the negative will always stand out. So why do you think like that people just love glorifying badness?
Because this is what I'm saying, man's enslaved to certain things, innit? So at the end of the day, as they say, monkey see, monkey do, innit, fam?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, no one will think for themselves, bro, do you know what, yeah? Man could actually do something positive and make money, but they're gonna see other people doing something and follow in the steps that the majority is doing. And just because the majority is doing something, I always know that the majority, that's not where the winners are at. What the majority is doing is not always the way forward. You feel me?
So like what would you say, like, so see, for instance, like what do you reckon when they're making like a guy like Tiny Tampa go so high with his music career, that do you think it's like a bigger plan for them to kind of deceive more people?
It probably could be, like, because there's a huge amount of people that's watching their success.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have a whole generation of people trying to follow and try and be like maybe two people. How many people are really successful? And the people that are successful, they haven't had man's life. They're not coming from what man's coming from, and they don't talk about what man talks about.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, let's be realistic, fam. How far is man really gonna go? Like doing gangster rap, fam? Yeah, man ain't going nowhere, fam. You get what I'm trying to say, fam? If man's about that life, cool, we're about that life, innit? But fam, man's not making no money off music, fam.
Yeah.
That's the reality, fam. No one ain't making no money off music, fam.
It's like,
and whatever if people you see a man selling, he went iTunes and he went here in iTunes, fam, yeah. How the amount of money that they put into a project, I have no in it. The amount of money that man's put into a project, like, it's like having a partner, fam. You put money in, what you put in is what you're getting back out, fam.
Yeah.
So you get what I'm trying to say,
really
fam.
Videos
cost money.
Yeah.
You put things in the video. Crazy, fam. Yeah. It's been a joke, fam.
So it's like especially now that, like, obviously music, it's like, I was reading this article the other day and they said in 2014 nobody's gone platinum, not even
You've been blessed to speak to a lot of lifers in jail. People who have literally stabbed man to death, shot man to death, strangled man to death. When you speak to them and they're doing a life sentence, what advice do they give you to give their youth?
I always start on the premise when I'm lifers or anybody that's serving a long time in prison for murder or any kind of violent crime which has caused someone to lose their life. When I go in there, I always say to them, simple question, I'm an individual that's going to carry a message to the young people of the community, parents in the community. So I just want to ask a simple question. What advice would you give to your son? What advice would you give to your daughter? And what would you say to your mum and dad? And I always get the same responses. Listen to your parents, stay in school. The road isn't everything, it's an illusion. Everybody thinks you're gonna make loads of money, but the reality is you're looking behind your back. Man wanna lift you down 24/7. It's not the way. Daughters, stay around your mother, listen to your mom. You know, find women in your family that you can use for advice and guidance and support. To their parents, it's always sorry. I was sad I didn't mean to put you through that situation. You have to travel hundreds of miles to come and see me for 2 hours, and it hurts. And these are the things that I have to go through. So when they advise me, they say to me, Craig, when you go back to the hood, when you talk to the youths, make them see.
So I'm I'm just sitting up here.
Make them understand
How do I get off road?
the next man and he has to go to the toilet and take a number 2.
I'll show you. I'll put a link in the chat. I'll show you.
If a man in your cell wants to commit suicide and wants to hang himself while she's sleeping, and you might wake up one day and see someone swinging from the ceiling, make man understand that. Make man understand about man get sodomized, man get raped, man get abused, man get extorted. Show man and teach them about these types of things. Tell them that education is the key, because education is going to stop them from coming into these types of places. That's what they advise me. And that's what I advise the youth. And like I said, I've been blessed to go inside the institution or come out and tell these youths. But as I said before, every youth, every young person in the community, whether they're on the road or not, whether the young people that are doing well at school and are thinking, you know what, I'm not getting attention because them man are, and I want to go into that way of life in order to get attention. The reality is going to be the same. You make the choice. There's 2 roads. No, there's 3 roads. Death, mental health, or prison.
Bismillah ar-Rahim wa salatu wassalam ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In short, Craig, the young brothers, they feel that they're not dumb, but they're thinking right now to go and start shotting, and start robbing some kill vans and this that. But why would you advise them not to do this and to stick to the education route?
Again, each response that I give you, sometimes it's applicable for everybody, and sometimes it's only going to be applicable to certain people. And the premise for most youths on the road always tends to be, you don't understand my situation. And they might be right. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't understand everybody's situation. However, through the work that I've done around the country, around different parts of the world, I've been blessed with the opportunity to meet young people outside in the community that are about to make those decisions, young people that have made those decisions, and individuals that have fell on the wrong side. What I mean by the wrong side, individuals that are in mental health institutions, individuals that are serving life in prison for murder, for robbery, for assault, etc. So when I engage and I talk to these people, and then you ask me that question, what would I advise? I would always say education is the key. Okay. Education is the most powerful weapon that any person can have. Staying in school is imperative. Why? Because you can be on the road, you can be shopping, you can be moving to man and doing your thing. And a man can take your things. Regardless of how bad you are, anyone can get moved to. That's the reality of the hood. Not saying that you can't retaliate and do your thing back, but the reality is anybody can get moved to. But with education, no one can't take education away from a certain man area, but you might go to a different city like Birmingham, and then man might even look at you like you're some waste man. You might be a man that's not even relevant. So then that demonstrates to you that you might be official in your end, but might not be official in somebody else's end. So my point, education is the key. However, each youth that's out there is going through their struggles, trials and tribulations, and each man that's struggling with that. And all I would advise the brothers is hold on strong. Try and find individuals that you know that are positive, whether that's your pops, whether that's whether that's just a man in the community trying to help the young bucks in the end. Link to that man and try and get some advice, try and get some guidance so that he can support you into doing something different and can help you with your choices. But the reality is, peer pressure is going to be there because money needs to be made. Man want to make money, and your mum might give you £15 or £20 a week, and you know that's not enough. By the time you buy a couple things, you know, your bus pass or whatever it is, you know that you're going to struggle to get that. And all I'm saying to you is that you can take that road and do that, but the consequences is death. The consequences is mental health. The consequences is life in prison. Or you can go down the educational route, or you can travel the world and get paid triple of what you would have got just standing on the corner.
Was young, and there was all these bad men and rude boys on road, the older ones. Now they've reached 40, 50, 60. What is their life like? And the people that went to school and got education, who are 40, 50, and 60 now, what is their life?
Well, if the majority of them are not in prison serving life sentences, if the majority of them are not dead, if the majority of them are not in mental health institutions, sectioned and been drugged up every single week, or they've been let back into the community after they've been sectioned and looking like zombies, the majority of the people that I know of that have lived that life are standing outside of the bookie, standing outside of the last few pubs that have been open. Those individuals are what I call them Facebook scholars, individuals that sit online all day telling the world about what they should be doing, telling the youth what they should be doing, but don't do anything themselves. However, there's a small minority of people that have lived that lifestyle and made a change.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I'm here today with Craig, who's basically a young brother, mashallah, from Birmingham, Handsworth, Hamdulillah, and he's an example that shows that no matter what surroundings you come from, you can still achieve things. Mashallah, Craig came from an area where there's a lot of knife violence, gun violence, problems. Alhamdulillah, he managed to get a degree and a master's, and he's actually working on his PhD. Now, Craig, you're someone who's from like a general black area. There's a lot of kids that are in school, you know what I'm saying? They're seeing people selling drugs, they're seeing people stealing, being robbing, doing fraud, and they're thinking, these boys are their age and they're making money. And they're tempted to leave school because school seems long, it's going to take long before they get, you know, they have to go to college and uni, before they get, you know, a good job that pays well. What would you say to these youths that are thinking about taking a shortcut? What advice would you give to them? Being someone who's from the same kind of area, who's got a degree, you know, got a master's and is working on a PhD.
I'll be totally honest and say it was very difficult. I'm not going to sit here before you and say that I was a person that stayed in education, paid attention in school, was a person that did everything that my mum and dad told me to do. and then went and then got a degree, a diploma, and then a master's degree. That wasn't the situation. I was at school, I messed about at school, didn't pay attention at school. I was an individual that used to cause trouble in school, inside and outside of school. And I remember my mum crying every single parents' evening because my mum and dad were from educational backgrounds, my family were from educational backgrounds, but I still chose to do other things. I still chose to go to school and cause trouble, make jokes, shoot pellet guns at teachers, bring fireworks into school. These are the things that I chose to do because I thought it was fun. I chose to not do my GCSEs. I'd rather sleep in the exam hall rather than pay attention and do my papers. I chose to do that. When I left school with no GCSEs and my parents were upset and I had no real option to go to different colleges to do the courses that I wanted to do, I had a different struggle. So I had to select courses that were not going to benefit me educationally, but it was just the fact to keep my mum and dad happy in order to do that. So that was a struggle. But because I had my mum and dad around me, they was always pushing me into education. Wasn't really interested in education, but I did it because I just wanted my mum and dad to just leave me alone and start bothering me when I was at home. But went to college and still was faced with the challenges. I was dyslexic. I struggled with maths, I struggled with English. And I felt that teachers didn't understand me, so I used to cause trouble again, fight. So after coming in and out of different colleges, being among certain people in the community, like in most cities in a city, things like violence, things like chilling with the wrong crowds becomes a deal. But again, the good thing in which brought me back was having good support mechanisms around myself and having good mentors. And they saying to me that, you got something about you that you have that can contribute to other people in your community, because I've seen it all. I don't want to sit here and say everything that I've seen, but I've seen guns, I've seen people get rushed, I've seen man get beat up, I've seen man get 35 years, 18 years, I've seen people get go to mental health institutions, I've seen people in coffins. I've seen it, but I'm not going to profess and say I was that guy, because I wasn't, but I grew up around these guys. Most kids are. Not everybody that's from the road. You have to be from the road and you have to experience all of those things. I live next door to people, 3 doors away from people that have killed people. I've come out of my house and seen people selling. I've come out of my house and seen people get run. So when you grow up in an inner city area, this is something that you've seen. But the good thing that I had was my dad. I'd always put that down to a dad, and he was the person that always said to me, your career, school, education is the key. Education is the key. That's something used to drill in my head all the time. So after going through college and going in and out, it was only myself that I then decided to say, you know what, I want us now to do something different. I want to pay attention in college. And then it was only at that point where I made the choice to then do something different. But the good thing that I had, again, it was all the support mechanisms around me, which for most young people, they don't have. But there's an old Jamaican saying, when you slip, slide. So with me, when I slipped, I had people to support me. Now, if you look in the communities today, you've got your Muslim youth, you've got youth that are non-Muslim, but they might have other religious backgrounds, but they've got a good community structure, they've got a good, what is called social capital, so they've got different people that they can connect to if they're in a time of difficulty, whereas some communities from in the city, predominantly African, Afro-Caribbean, British, Irish children, many of them don't, not all, but many of them don't have those support mechanisms. So when they make those bad life choices, in school, in college, in the community, and they go prisoner on probation or whatever happens to them, many of them find it very difficult to get back into the community and do something better. So with me, it was hard, it was a struggle. I found out I was dyslexic, as I said. I found out that, when I read words, it took me 3 times as long to do an assignment than somebody else would do an assignment.
And you still went on to get a degree and complete your master's, finding out that you were dyslexic.
Discipline, that was the thing to me, it was discipline. When I realized what my learning needs was, I made sure that the teachers that I felt understood me, mentors that I felt understood me, I made sure I stayed with them all the time, even to the point where I remember at break time, the other students used to laugh at me and say, that teacher's your dad. And them kind of jokes there. The only reason because they were academically smart. I wasn't.
What is a mentor? Can you break down for me?
A mentor is an individual that can give you advice, can give you guidance, an individual that you feel understands your situation, a person that understands the community that you possibly come from and the challenges that you face for me, was a young black male in a racist society, in a society that the perception was that the area that you live is violent. People had a lack of identity, lack of positive male figures, individuals and help you to navigate your way through education, through life, etc. So I found that my dad was my number one mentor, but also I had mentors that were in the community that understood my reality and helped me to get through education. And I stopped with through college. I done my first degree. Even when I left college, I stayed with some mentors and they took me through to my master's degree. I still have those mentors right now. They still help me academically because I still struggle. They still support me in terms of the way I deliver my presentation. They still have the information in the community. And then I use my peers that are like-minded, that are interested in the same things that I am. And then I use that to then inspire the youth because, like I said, I've seen it all and I've been and I work with young people that are like that.
People that are shooting drugs, robbing secure vans, do they make as much money as a person with a degree or a master's or PhD?
Yes, I did. Of course, loads of money. Crime pays. I'm a criminologist, so I can tell you that crime does definitely pay. You are going to make hundreds of pounds selling drugs. You are going to make money. You're going to make grands. That's the reality, but it's a reality for a lot of people that doesn't last forever. So you might be on 10 bags a week, 5 bags a week. You might be on a bag a week. You might be nice. You might be, but it's not going to last forever. And as I said to you, education is a thing that you can take anywhere around the world. You ain't looking around the back. You ain't worrying about you can't eat here, you can't do this and that with your family. And at some point, you're going to get caught. There's only probably one man I've ever known that has ever got away from the police and not been arrested or done anything, but the majority of youths that think they're going to make that money forever, they don't. I speak to youth all the time and say, you know, I'm locked before they get locked up on the joint enterprise over some crazy incident that's happened, which has caused them to do 35 years, 33 years, 30 years, 25 years, but actually what somebody else has done. So yes, crime does pay. Crime definitely pays. But in short term, it's not long term. Education is something that's long term. You can travel anywhere really. Like it's stressful. Anyone wanting to take your life. And people want to move to you, or people want to do certain things here to take you away from your family. Which is our problem.
Craig, you've been blessed to speak to a lot of lives in jail. People who have literally stabbed man to death, shot man to death, strangled man to death. When you speak to them and they do their life sentence, what advice do they give you to give the youth?
I always start on the premise when I meet lifers or anybody that's serving a long time in prison for murder or any kind of violent crime which has caused someone to lose their life. When I go in there, I always say to them, simple question. I'm an individual that's going to carry a message to the young people of the community, parents in the community. So I just want to ask a simple question. What advice would you give to your son? What advice would you give to your daughter? And what would you say to your mom and dad? And I always get the same responses. Listen to your parents. Stay in school. The road isn't everything, it's an illusion. Everybody thinks you're going to make loads of money, but the reality is you're looking behind your back. Man want to lift you down 24/7. It's not the way. Daughters, stay around your mother. Listen to your mom. You know, find women in your family that you can use for advice and guidance and support. To their parents, it's always sorry. I was sad I didn't mean to put you through that situation. You have to travel hundreds of miles to come and see me for 2 hours, and it hurts. And these are the things I have to go through. So when they advise me, they say to me, Craig, when you go back to the hood, when you talk to the youths, make them see and understand what prison is like. Make them understand what 23-hour bang-up is. Make them understand that when they are sharing a pad with the next man and he has to go to the toilet and take a number 2, you're in there and you can't win from that man. If a man in your cell wants to commit suicide and wants to hang himself whilst you're sleeping, and you might wake up one day and see someone swinging from the ceiling, make man understand that. Make man understand about man get sodomized, man get raped, man get abused, man get extorted. Show man and teach them about these types of things. Tell them that education is the key, because education is going to stop them from coming into these types of places. That's what they advise me, and that's what I advise the youth. And like I said, I've been blessed to go inside the institution or come out and tell these youth. But as I said before, every youth, every young person in the community, whether they're on the road or not, whether the young people that are doing well at school and are thinking, you know what, I'm not getting attention because them man are, and I want to go into that way of life in order to get attention. The reality is going to be the same. You make the choice. There's 2 roads. No, there's 3 roads. Death, mental health, or prison. So it's your choice.
Last question. Last 2 questions. When you was young and there was all these bad men and rude boys on road, the older ones, now they've reached 40, 50, 60. What is their life like? And the people that went to school and got education who are 40, 50 and 60 now, what is their life?
Well, the majority of them are not in prison serving life sentences. If the majority of them are not dead, if the majority of them are not in mental health institutions, section, they've been drugged up every single week, or they've been let back into the community after being sectioned and looking like zombies. The majority of the people that I know of that have lived that life are standing outside of the bookie, standing outside of the last few pubs that have been open. Those individuals are what I call them Facebook scholars, individuals that sit online all day telling the world about what they should be doing, telling the youth what they should be doing, but don't do anything themselves. However, there's a small minority of people that have lived that lifestyle and made a change. And whether that change is becoming a father, whether that change is getting a job, whether that change is going back into education, whether that change is embracing a faith and using that faith as a platform to change their moral compass, they're the things that I see. But the majority of individuals, they're either in prison, they're outside the bookie, they're outside the local pub, or they're standing in the community talking with no action.
The majority of people that are shooting drugs, robbing secure vans, do they make as much money as a person with a degree or a master's or PhD?
Yeah, some of them do. Of course, loads of money. Crime pays. I'm a criminologist, so I can tell you that crime does definitely pay. You are going to make hundreds of pounds selling drugs. You are going to make money. You're going to make grands. That's the reality. But it's a reality for a lot of people that doesn't last forever. So you might be on 10 bags a week, 5 bags a week. You might be on a bag a week. And you might be nice. You might be doing your thing. But it's not going to last forever. And as I said to you, education is a thing that you can take anywhere around the world. You ain't looking around the back. You ain't worrying about you can't eat here, you can't do this and that with your family. And at some point, you're going to get caught. There's only probably one man I've ever known that has ever got away from the police and not been arrested or done anything. But the majority of youths that think they're going to make that money forever, they don't. I speak to youth all the time and they say, you know what, when I make 100 bags, I'll stop. When I make 50 bags, I'll stop. If I make 200 bags, I'll stop. Half of them don't get to 15 grand before they get locked. Before they get locked up on the joint enterprise over some crazy incident that's happened, which has caused them to do 35 years, 33 years, 30 years, 25 years, when actually what somebody else has done. So yes, crime does pay. Crime definitely pays. But it's short term, it's not long term. Education is something that's long term. You can travel anywhere with it. You know, be stressing about anyone wanting to take your life. People want to move to you, or people want to do certain things to you to take you away from your family.
easy way to get paid for your opinion their products. And
Okay, cool. Okay.
Pixel.
Okay. The topic is gonna be, inshallah, sinning on social media and sinning in public, inshallah. Should be starting in less than 5 minutes, inshallah. Forgive me. Jazakallah. I'm not daydreaming. I'm setting up different phones that are recording for Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Sinning in public. Okay, salam alaikum, Abu Jamal. Salam alaikum. What is this? This is my other YouTube channel. Okay. Yeah, salam alaikum to Nasam Nain, Fruit Post, Abdullah Jamali Bella Ahmed, Haji Osman. Salam alaikum to Jordan. I've seen Jordan and Go Live and whoever else is in that room. Salam alaikum. Assalam, what's it? Assalam. Salam alaikum, Jamila. I think that is. Cool. Okay. I've heard everything you lot have been chatting about, stuff like that. I just was setting it up. Okay. UK. The whole life. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay, cool. Bismillah. Ala Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Thank you everyone for clicking on the video and actually joining. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Technology. Yeah. But as I say, anything worthwhile doing takes effort. So the whole thing is that, yeah, at first it may be a bit technical and starting up and so forth, but once I get the hand off this, it will be like nothing to me. Okay, cool. Like, as a convert, revert, whatever term you want to use, I wanted to talk about sinning on social media and sinning in public, because basically none of us are perfect, especially growing up in the West, yeah. And I'm not really going to be reading the comments in about maybe 10, 15 minutes. I'll start going through the comments and interacting with you guys, but let me just get what's off my mind, and then after I can talk with you, inshallah. So yeah, basically, I'm sure you all know, growing up in the West, it's not the most easy of things, you know. Like it's not an Islamic country. There's not like masjids like in a Muslim country. There's masjids everywhere. If for any of you that have been to a Muslim country, it's very easy to practice, even if there's certain haram things in the Muslim countries and so forth. It's very easy to practice there. I don't know if you've been to Egypt or you've been to Morocco, you've been to certain other Muslim countries, regardless of like certain places like the tourist attractions, the general places, even though they might not have everything might not be Islamic about them, it's very easy to practice in that, you know, you can't, it's a kind of impossible to miss the prayer because there's adhan everywhere, there's masjids everywhere. You come out of your house, there's a masjid on that corner, and so forth. So the whole thing is that it's quite easy to practice there. Yeah. Unfortunately, in the West, it's not like that. You know, it's like there might not be a masjid near your house. You don't hear the adhan, and so forth. So yeah. So basically, it's not that easy in the West. So what I would say is that you see sins every time you go outside, whether it's nakedness of the opposite gender, whether it's music, whether it's people swearing, whether it's I don't know, pubs and alcohol and so forth, or people often use a cigarette or alcohol or so forth. Yeah. But the thing I wanted to talk about, something that I've noticed, is that there's a big difference. The Prophet said, all of my ummah will be forgiven, except those who broadcast their sins or those who sin publicly. So this hadith is basically saying that, you know, Allah will, if someone sincerely, you know, does a sin or falls into a sin, whether it's major or minor, and they sincerely leave it. Say someone falls into listening to music, which is a major sin in Islam, yeah, and then they feel bad about it and so forth, and they made tawbah from it. And there's conditions to tawbah. One of the conditions is that you repent. Another condition, and you're sorry about it. Another condition is that that you don't try not to return to it, and that you don't ever return to other sins as well. So the whole thing is that, look, if someone does a sin, yeah, that hadith that all of my ummah will be forgiven except those who broadcast their sins, yeah. If a person sincerely does a sin, you know, and falls into a sin, even if it's a major sin, and then they feel bad about it and they turn to Allah and they make tawbah and they stay away from it and they stay away from other sins and so forth, there's a chance, inshallah, that they can be forgiven for it. But something I don't get and I don't understand, yeah, is why Muslims, especially Muslims born into a Muslim family, because people are judged differently. Like if someone just embraced the deen yesterday, they're not judged like someone who's born into a Muslim family and been Muslim all their life. Yeah. But one thing I don't get, yeah, is that we all have different fitness, different people have different fitness, and different things they're tested with. Some people it might be music, some people it might be the opposite gender, some people it might be arrogance. It might be people have different sins. Yeah. But one thing I don't understand is that when someone's suffering with something, why they have to do it in public, or why they have to do it on social media. For example, say someone suffers from the fitna of music, yeah? Okay, they suffer with the fitna of music. Now, me, myself, I would say this, that I'm not no pious person. I know you see a bird and a creature, this, that, that. Music's not one of the things I suffered with, alhamdulillah, but I have my own fitness that I suffer with and so forth. Yeah, and I'm not some pious person, like some pious scholar or this, that, yeah, but I'm just a brother who's trying to practice and so forth, yeah. But the thing is that I would never, because I struggle with something and I struggle with different things, I'm hoping that, you know, if I sin, I make tawbah from it, you know, inshallah, on Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah will forgive me for it, yeah? Especially because of that hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said that all of my sins will be, all of my ummah will be forgiven, except those who broadcast their sins, yeah? But why I don't understand how a person can struggle with a sin, yeah? Like music or, I don't know, whether it's music or smoking or whatever, and then post it online, yeah, because everybody on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, or any social media, you at least have 100 followers, at least. Even if you're not popular, whatever that means, or even if you're not well known, or you're not a person in Dawa or whatever. Generally, on things like Facebook and Instagram and so forth, you have a few hundred people. Even if you don't do much on your account, this is just the way they are, yeah. So what I don't understand is that if a person, yeah, is tried with something, whether it's music or smoking or this, that, and the other, there's no excuse for them to post that sin online, yeah, and to make another Muslim week. Because the whole thing is that when people follow you, yeah, and you post haram, whether it's music, whether it's pictures of you raving, whether it's picture of you clubbing, whether it's picture of you drinking and so forth, if another Muslim sees that video or sees that you smoking or this, that, and the other, and then that person, yeah, decides to start smoking or listen to music or start drinking and so forth, you get sin on it, and so do they. What's my proof for this? There's a hadith that says that whoever guides someone to good, yeah, whoever guides someone to good will get the same reward, yeah, without the reward of the person who they guided it to being decreased. Meaning, so for example, if you give someone a book on how to pray and they read that book, yeah, and they learn how to pray from that book. Every time they pray, you get reward for it. If you teach someone how to do wudu, if you teach someone how to say salam alaikum, if you whatever good you teach someone, as long as they keep on practicing, you get reward for it. One time, a companion, he said to the Prophet told him that when you cohabit or have relationships with your partner and so forth, you get reward for it. And the companion was like confused. He said, when I have relationships with my wife and so forth, I get reward for it. And he said, yes, don't you see that if you did sinner, you get punished for it. So you get rewarded for it. So the whole same thing as well. If you teach someone to do good, yeah, and they keep on doing that thing, whether it's how to pray, how to do wudu, and they keep on using that thing, you get reward for it. Likewise, if you teach someone to do bad, yeah, you get a punishment for it. That's why the first man to kill, yeah, from Adam's offspring, he will get a share of every murder that happens after that. So basically, the whole point I'm trying to say is that if we want to get forgiven on Yom Kippur, yeah, me, I'm not pious, I'm not some mu'min. I want to, inshallah, one day I want to be a mu'min. A mu'min is a different stage to a Muslim, yeah. A mu'min, is someone that's been loved to Allah and so forth. Inshallah, reach the stage of worship, of ihsan. Now, there's a hadith called the hadith of Jibril. It's a long hadith where a man came to the Prophet in the desert when he was with the companions, and the Prophet, no one recognized who the man was. And it's a long hadith, it's a famous hadith, mashallah, it's a beautiful hadith, there's many lessons in it. And basically, a man came to the Prophet ﷺ, and he was sitting down, and none of the companions, they recognized him. And it was strange because he was dressed in white, yeah, and he had no signs of traveling on himself, yeah. So they were like, how's this man coming in the middle of the desert, and he's all dressed in white, and he's got no dirt, he's not dirty and so forth. So anyway, it's a long hadith, and basically he sit down there and he asked the Prophet a couple questions, and he asked them, what is Islam? And the Prophet would answer it, and then he said, what is Iman? And he would explain it to him, and then you said, what is Ihsan? And he would explain it to him, and then the person, after the Prophet gave the answer, each time the man would say, you're correct, you're correct, you're correct. And the companions thought this was crazy because the Prophet was the most knowledgeable at that time, and this man is answering him questions, and he's saying he's correct, and he's saying he's correct. So anyway, one of the questions was, what is Ihsan? And the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that Ihsan is to worship Allah like you see him, even though you don't, but you know he sees you. So Ihsan is to worship Allah like you see him, like you're all, like Like you actually see him and you're aware that he's watching you. And inshallah, may Allah make us all to be people who worship Allah with ihsan and make us mu'mins. Anyway, so the point is, yeah, the point is that none of, like, we all suffer from different things, but the whole thing is that I don't get is that me, I know that if I fall into a sin or something, it's out of weakness. It's never because I think that, you know, Allah hasn't seen what I've done. It's never because I think that Allah is not aware of what I'm doing. It's because of my own weakness as a person. But I don't understand how people, yeah, can post music on like they're struggling with music, but that's not enough for them. It's not enough for them that they're struggling with music. They also have to post it online, yeah, and by posting it online, they're tempting all the people that are following them. They're giving them an option to disobey their creator. Like, how fish is that? Why is it if you suffer with something like music or smoking or drinking or whatever it is, yeah, if you're because you can't do both, you can't sincerely be sorry, yeah, that you're tried with this sin and it's a test for you and you're trying to get over it or you're trying to stop it and stuff like that. And also, yeah, you're showing people that you either listen to music or you smoke or you drink and so forth as well by posting it online. You can't be both. Either you don't care, yeah, and you're posting it online, yeah, or you do care and you're ashamed of it and you keep it to yourself, yeah, because there's no reason. Let's just say you're weak and you fall into this sin of music or whatever it is, or this, that, and the other. That's one thing. But what excuse is there to post it online to another 100 people? Some of us have thousands of people on our social media. Like, what you can't say it's out of necessity that you have to post that. It takes effort to do it. So the whole thing is at the end of the day is that, like, if a person sincerely wants to be forgiven, if a person really wants to get to Jannah on Yom Kippur, we all can have enough sins. We all, you know what I'm saying? When you take away, when you take away, like, you've got your good deeds and you've got your prayer, but when you take away how many prayers were not done with khushu', concentration, when you take away the prayers that people have missed, when you add all the bad deeds and this, that, and the other, and so forth, yeah, and the amount of sins you've seen with your eyes and you've heard with your ears and all these different things, yeah, that's enough. Let alone, you know, because think about it. If you have 100 followers and you post something on haram, you have the potential of getting 100 sins for every eye that sees it. If you've got 1,000 followers, yeah, and you post sins, that's the potential of 1,000 people seeing that, yeah, and you get that 1,000 sins. And if you've got tens of thousands of followers on your social media and you post something, yeah, then that's another that's tens of thousands of sins. And the worst thing is, you could post something. There could be a person that's practicing, yeah, or trying to practice and so forth. You post something and it knocks them completely off their deen, yeah. Or imagine this: there's a brother or sister, they're following you. You post a picture of you, I don't know, clubbing or drinking or with your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is, yeah. And then that person ends up committing zina. Yes, they're to blame because they're responsible for their actions and so forth, but you influenced it. So the whole thing is at the end of the day, the whole thing is at the end of the day, I just wanted to say is that, look, at the end of the day, if we want to get forgiven on Yom Kippur, you know what I'm saying, we shouldn't broadcast our sins because of the hadith of the Prophet, where he said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that all of our companions will be forgiven. So, where he said, all of our sins will be forgiven except those who broadcast our sins. And that's what I'm saying. There's no excuse, yeah. We all sin, I sin, you sin, so forth. Inshallah, we should try to avoid the major sins, yeah. We should try to avoid the major sins and look at the minor sins as major sins, yeah. But there's no excuse. There's no excuse for a person, whether it's smoking, whether it's drinking, you know what I'm saying, whether it's struggling with hijab, yeah, for you, yeah, to post either you doing haram online or post haram online. There's no excuse for that. What are you gonna say in your own for posting music online? Okay, you struggle with the music. If you die, like falling into it, trying not to listen to it, begging Allah, making dua, oh Allah, take this thing away from me so that I don't love it or that I'm not addicted to it and so forth. That kind of person, inshallah, like we all have the ability to give up music or weed, all this, that, and the other, and so forth. But even if the person that struggles with it, stays away for it for a while, falls back into it, but they're always making Toba and stuff and so forth, yeah? This person, inshallah, they get forgiven in Yom Kippur. But a person that shares music to other people, you know what I'm saying? That's selfish. Wallahi, that's selfish. Because you're testing other believers with a fitna that they don't need to be tested with. So the whole thing is at the end of the day, inshallah, this is just a short reminder, and I would just say to brothers, sisters, and myself as Nasias that look, whatever you struggle with and so forth, yeah, don't ever. I would never be in a situation where you lower another believer's iman. You know what I'm saying? If there's something you struggle with, keep it between you and Allah, and inshallah Allah will forgive us on Yom Kippur. It's like sisters as well. If you're struggling with hijab, there's no need, yeah, for you to show other sisters, yeah, that you're not wearing hijab or that you know, like tempting them. You know what I'm saying? Imagine there's hijabi sisters following you and you're posting pictures like with hardly any clothes on and you're going out and you're clubbing this, that, and the other. Just because a person wears niqab or hijab doesn't mean that they don't have weaknesses. Don't mean that they don't get tempted by things and so forth. You know, and same thing with brothers as well. So this is just a short reminder, inshallah. Inshallah, I'm going to try and do some more of these once I've sorted out the technical side of it and everything. And Jazakallah khair. I'm going to start reading through your questions, inshallah. And if I've got the ability, I'll try and answer it, inshallah. Hold on, give it a sec. Okay, cool. Assalamu alaikum, Malik Muhammad. Okay. Cool. Forgive me, guys. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, forgive me if I missed one. I've got YouTube one, I've got 2 YouTube channels on, I've got a Facebook and something else, I'm not sure, but okay. Okay. Hey brothers, please don't look. Hold on. Guys, please don't come in there and start sharing accounts, man. Yeah, because I don't know exactly what people have got in their accounts, and I'm not going to be responsible for people sharing their stuff, please. So, that. Okay, good. Assalamu alaikum, Digital. How are you doing? You okay? It's not my first live stream, but YouTube loves you to like me, man. Jamila Stucker. What is it about? It was about sinning on social media. If anyone's got any questions, yeah, just put them in. If not, inshallah, I'm gonna call it a day. Brother, can email me, send me your number. I would like you to call you sometime. Yeah, Islam. Just, you know what is, if you want to message me Hussein Thomas on Facebook, yeah, or Street Ordine on Instagram. That's the best way. I don't know how messages work on YouTube, but I know it's going to be a mission to find it. Jordan, I agree. Muslims listening to music does not bother me. But when yeah. Look, everyone has their own things that everyone has their own thing, their own fitness that they deal with. Different things for different people. But what reason have you got to share it online? I don't understand. It's like when I see people like uploading videos smoking a spliff or weed and stuff like that. And what's worse, a lot of these people are born into Muslim families, yeah, and it's like bunning a spliff, yeah, and everyone knows, everybody, Muslim, non-Muslim, even people who are not religious, yeah, non-Muslims who are not religious, yeah, know that Muslims shouldn't be smoking spliff, and Muslims are not dumb, yeah. Muslims know, non-Muslims are not dumb. They know that you shouldn't be smoking weed. They know you shouldn't be drinking alcohol. They know that what is it? They know that alcohol is haram. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, what you got to understand is that people know, yeah, a lot, the way it is here, people know, even non-Muslims who ain't religious or interested in religion or anything, they know certain people from certain countries are Muslim, whether it be Somalian, Moroccan, Algerian, Egyptian. People know that they're Muslim because some of these people have Muslim friends. You know, 1 out of every 5 persons are Muslim. So even if you're not practicing, you're not wearing a phobe, you ain't got a bed and this, that, and you're out in public, yeah, and you're smoking a spliff or you're smoking a cigarette or you're drinking alcohol, like people know that, like you just, you know what I'm saying. Listen, if you suffer from smoking, yeah, and you're addicted, then smoke in private and make sure for Allah to help you out. But coming out, that's why things become so easy for people to sin. The more people that come out and just smoke casually or drink casually or not wear hijab casually, the more confidence other people have to sin. You see what I'm saying? The more that people do haram openly, yeah, the more confident other people feel to do it. The other day I was in Westfield. I was like going through Westfield, and I'm not gonna say the country, but there was like a brother and there was another girl from the same country, yeah. And they walked through Westfield, yeah. And what happened? Just open in public, they started kissing him. And these people were proper young, proper young, yeah. You know, I would say they were around 16, 17. I could tell they're not married. They're not married, yeah. The girl never had no hijab or nothing. And it hit me because, do you know what? To see a Muslim boyfriend and girlfriend in public, yeah, kissing and this, that, and the other, it might be becoming normal, yeah, but it wasn't. A few years ago, it wasn't normal. They weren't brave enough to do it. They weren't. They weren't. They would. They wasn't so ignorant enough to do that. But now they're holding hands and kissing in public. You tell their boyfriend and girlfriend. You see what I'm saying? And the more that happens, the more confident other people seem to do it. You know. So the whole thing is that me myself, I know I've got sins and things I've got to be responsible. I'm responsible for your Kiyama. Inshallah, I'll free myself from them before I die, inshallah. And so, but if not, yeah, no one will know about it because I'm ashamed of it. And whenever I sin, it's only out of weakness for Allah. And I don't want to be responsible for any other believer, you know, dealing with a fitna, putting a fitna which could allow them to disobey the law. Imagine you've got your own life that you're struggling with, and then yeah, you're gonna be the reason another Muslim may disobey the law. I don't need that on my shoulders, Yom Kill, man. I'm sure no one else does. You know. What's the punishment for fornication? Well, the punishment for fornication in this dunya is lashes. I think it's 70 lashes. But the punishment of fornication in the next life is there's a hadith that mentioned that I think it was the Prophet ﷺ was shown Jahannam, and there was people pushing each other into an oven, yeah, and they would be burned alive and so forth. And I believe that's the punish for it, you know. And obviously, you know, when you get punished for sins, years and so forth, you know. Um, yeah, take care. I agree. Muslims. Listen, if you guys are talking about the brother Paul apostating and so forth, that's his choice. It's his loss. You know what I'm saying? You know, Islam. That's what I'm saying. If someone becomes Muslim and they understand Tawheed in detail, yeah, they understand like Tawheed and its three categories and so forth. They're not gonna not become. They're not gonna leave Islam for emotional reason. You see what I'm saying? So the whole thing is that that person never understand the deen in the first place. If you leave Islam for emotional reason, like Muslims were bad to me, or a Muslim was rude to me, or a Muslim had bad manners with me, that means you never became Muslim based upon knowledge, because you would know that whatever you learned, you would learn that my believing in Islam was based on the Quran and Sunnah, the text of Islam. Yeah, and whatever Muslims do, if it's not in accordance from the text of Islam, then it's not part of Islam, and it's just a person being ignorant. So, you know, it's really annoying when Muslims beg people, yeah, and beg people to take shahada or practice and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, if someone wants to take shahada, if someone wants to stay in Islam, they stay in Islam. If they don't, it's their loss. You know. But how do I break away from her? So my father got diagnosed with cancer. She said, can he not look after himself? So Aslam, what's your question? What is your question? You're talking about some girl. What is it? Brother, go live if you can give my email. Send me your number. I would like to call you sometime. Yeah, I saw the number. Okay, so my sister told me that if I, what is it to do with her girlfriend? Aslam, sorry. Send the question again. I am in a haram relationship. Okay. Expecting a child, she is an atheist. SubhanAllah. Wallahi, I tell you what, yeah. When I came to Islam, when I took Shahada, I found out two things were haram that I thought were impossible to give up. I found out that music was haram, and I found out that smoking weed was haram. Now, basically, these two things I thought mentally and physically they were too hard to give up, because it was part of my life, innit? It was like I woke up in the morning, I had my music set right beside my bed. You know what I'm saying? Like the first thing I did before my eyes even opened up, yeah, I would press play. Some rap tune will come out and this, that, and the other. Next thing I'll do, like a spliff routinely, you know? And anyone who smoked weed or smoked cigarettes, it's not easy to give up. So basically, these two things are music I loved. And I think I sincerely believed it was mentally impossible to be happy without music. And music, smoking, I was addicted to it, because like when you smoke weed or cigarette all the time, yeah, your body needs it, the nicotine. So it's like you become reliant on it, and if you don't have it, you become agitated. So basically, all I did is that the two things is that I did to give them up is that I just made dua to Allah and I begged him to make it easier for me to give these things up. The effort at first, after that, was really hard for the first few days. After a week or so or two, it got easier, but it was still hard. And after you know what I'm saying, basically a month, I was able to give it up to the stage where I didn't need it and I didn't have an urge for it. Okay, you said Osama says Islam. she's a hardcore atheist. She wants to be part of my child's life. I must drop my family all day except her as an atheist. SubhanAllah. Do you know what? I'm not going to give you a lecture about doing zina because it's too late now, but this is one of the cases of doing zina because you could have a child at any time, but okay. The situation is this, is that the only way, the thing is you want the child to grow up Muslim, yeah. Now the reality of the situation is that the mother generally raises the kid, yeah. So the whole thing is at the end of the day is that, like, if she's an atheist and she's a hardcore atheist, and she raises a child, then the child is actually going to pass their beliefs on to the child. So you need to think what's the priority at the moment is that if you're going to have this child, you want it to grow up a believer. Yeah. Now I know you're at the moment you're mostly emotionally involved, and you have feelings for her and so forth. But you have to try and think without emotion. Think, my child, am I going to stay with this girl? Yeah. I raise a child with her, and you know, and she gonna want to raise him a non-Muslim, atheist or non-Muslim and so forth, and you want to raise a Muslim. You know, like, I think the most important thing is you being on Deen and your child being Muslim. You know, and so forth. So the whole thing is at the end of the day, and you can make dua for her privately, like you can make dua for her, you know, that she may take shahad and so forth. But you know, right now and so forth, you need to think about basically that, you know, when you give the baby gives birth and stuff, you want the baby to grow up a Muslim. So hold on, she's halfway. The baby's due next month. Father will have a heart attack. Found out. He is old school practicing Muslim. He would disown me. How old are you, Aki? How old are you? Yeah, also like the video and subscribe if you're not subscribed, yeah? Jazakallah khairan. 25. Okay, do you think he's gonna let you stay in the house, or do you think he's gonna chuck you out? Assalamu alaikum, Nomad. Assalamu alaikum, Muhammad Rashid. He will kick me out. What? So you reckon he's really gonna? You think he's really gonna kick you out on the street and make you homeless? Yeah. He will have a heart attack. He's very respected in Muslim community. Subhanallah. See, well, actually, what I would say, that's what I'm saying. You're 25, actually. Well, the most important thing that you have to do at the moment is you have to look out for yourself, actually. You know what I'm saying? You need to, at the moment, you need to look out for yourself and find and try and make sure you got a place to stay, and you don't, fall into the fitna of the dunya being homeless and stuff like that. Because if you ain't got a place to stay, it's gonna be hard for you to do, let alone raising one tawheed and stuff. So your first priority is, to are you working? Are you working at? Subhanallah, may Allah aid you, man. All of you in your salat, please make dua for the brother, because this is a serious situation. This is a serious situation, man. Being homeless is not a joke, man. Wallahi, being homeless, man, it's not a joke. I couldn't afford a place I run. I says, "Oh, you're sorted then. You got me worried, Aki, man. Aki, you got me worried. I'm thinking that he's gonna kick you out. You're 25 because a lot of people at 25 they ain't got enough. You know, if they ain't got if you get kicked out on your man, you're gonna have to afford private accommodation. Private accommodation is crazy pricing, bro. For a little, just one room, it's like hundred and something pound a week. But alhamdulillah, you run a construction company, so alhamdulillah, you can afford your own place. So that situation sorted. Alhamdulillah, if you run a martial art to run a construction company at 25 is a big achievement. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. So alhamdulillah, that's sorted. So alhamdulillah, you got your own place. So what you just need to do, what you need to try to do, Akhi, is that well, my name is basically when that baby's born to teach it to D and so forth, you know. And actually, don't feel that. I know it's hard to think when you got feelings for someone, yeah? But don't feel that that you can't be happy without this girl and this, that, and the other. Wallahi, whatever she's got or whatever you like about her or whatever makes you attracted to her and you like about her, there's practicing sisters on Tawheed who cover, who, you know what I'm saying, are good sisters, yeah, who, you know what I'm saying, who can, what is it, who you can be happy with. No, but he's saying that he needs to stay with his family. He needs to stay with family, but he hasn't. I don't think he hasn't got a choice in it because because his father's going to throw him out. He said it's not debatable. And the thing is this, wallahi, when I first come into Islam, I've been in this situation. It's impossible to practice your deen, yeah, and live with someone who doesn't practice the deen. Yeah. Forget whether they're Muslim or not. Forget, even if they are Muslim, it's impossible for a person that practices to live with a person who doesn't practice, yeah, and for your iman to stay hard. It's impossible. It's impossible. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to be in your house, yeah? She can listen to music. Your iman's going to go down. She could be watching men on TV, not just property. It's gonna hurt your khayra. It's going to hurt your, you know what I'm saying? She might decide she wants to go out with her friends, just, you know, I don't know, clubbing or something. We're just going out to enjoy ourselves. Like, it's just going to rip you apart. You see what I'm saying? It's just going to rip you apart. Okay, the whole point is that, and when the kid grows up, he's going to see daddy's praying, mummy isn't. Daddy goes masjid, mummy doesn't go in masjid. When the baby or the baby asked about the mum about why doesn't she go masjid or why don't you do pray and this that, she gonna say I don't believe in it. It's gonna mash up the whole thing. And the thing is, there's there's better sisters out there that are practicing that are good. Like, I don't believe Allah said وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. They didn't create mankind and jinn except to worship him. Yeah. I don't think Allah's gonna create us, yeah, to worship him, yeah. And it's impossible. So whether it's music, whether it's weed, whether it's alcohol, whether it's girls and this, that, and the other, it's possible to give it up. And you know, I'm saying, I know at the moment, it's hard for you because you're inside the relationship and you've got feelings. So the whole thing is that you're mostly hoping that, you know, if you keep on giving her dawah, yeah, one day she's gonna eventually take shahada. But the thing is this, it may never happen. I know brothers, yeah, there's certain brothers I know, actually, they're practicing when they're on their own, they're practicing, they pray, they fast, they, you know, so they don't do any harm, they're on their deen, yeah. But because of sin a long time ago, yeah, what's happened is that they're with this partner, and then what has happened when they're with that person, their iman is just low. That person listens to music. You know what I'm saying? That person, you know what I'm saying, is like I don't know, drinks or smokes or this, that, like. So what happens is that they're in this relationship, yeah, for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, yeah. And at the end of the day, this person doesn't 10 years and this person hasn't taken shahada. And what happens is that means every time you're in that person's space, yeah, or they're with them, yeah, they put their deen on pause. You know what I'm saying? Or their iman goes down. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. You know? My dad will shun me and disown the rest of the family will this, that, and the other. Assalamu alaikum, Jeffrey Golders, Swift Production. I don't think he's a troll. But all I'm saying, Osman, is that the longer you stay with her, yeah, and the longer the older this child gets, yeah, the more confused the child's gonna get. So the best thing for you to do is get your own place, you know, teach your kid deen, you know. You can't help it, obviously, when the baby's with her, and so forth, and make dua for her. But as for living in the same house, you can't live in the same house as someone who's someone who's not practicing, yeah. Yeah, let alone believing. Yeah, it doesn't even a believer that doesn't practice. You can't live in a house and you keep your iman. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, your iman is gonna go down. You know what I'm saying? And so forth. And what you got to do, Allah says, save yourself and your family and the people closest to you. So you got to save yourself. And like I said, Akhi, wallahi, you're thinking that if you leave this girl, you're thinking that if you leave this girl, that you're never going to be happy again, or you're going to be upset, or you're going to be depressed. But the reality is, if Allah controls the sun, He controls the moon, He controls the universe, and so forth, yeah. And all that's in creation, He can provide you with a female that's better than her who worships Allah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so what, like I said, Usman, what you do is inbox me on Instagram, Street or Dean, or inbox me on Hussein Thomas Facebook, and we can chat on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can link up and talk about the situation, inshallah. You know? But may Allah aid you and everyone in this room, if you can, try and make dua for the brother. You know what I'm saying? Make dua for the brother, inshallah. You know? Assalamu alaikum, Salahuddin bin Solomon. Yeah, so Arabiya Khalil. Yeah. So if there's no more questions, I know it's late at night, I should have started earlier, but hey, came in from work late, so I have to do my lives late. And look, this is, you know what I'll say, Dawa Digital, why have you not got digital Dawa? Why have you got that Murtad Russian agent on your channel? Oh, I was just checking. No, you don't. But you don't have to say the one in Arabic. If English is your language, no, you don't. But what I was gonna say is that this is what I'm gonna say. Yeah, see, you know what is the problem is? Yeah, you see, because we're growing up in London. Yeah, the problem is because we're growing up in London. Yeah, and a lot of kafar boys just they don't have girlfriends. They have a phone. Yeah, and whatever girl, and they chat up anything as much females as they see and they can get, yeah, and they just sleep around. Brothers get caught up in this year. And when you're young, when you're young, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just, brothers get excited and get caught up in the moment and do zina and stuff like that. But the whole problem is that once you have a child, man, if the sister ain't on deen, yeah, and this could apply to sisters, if the brother isn't on deen, yeah, or is from like a non-believer, this, that, the other, it's problems. You know what I'm saying? But when you're young, when we're young, you see her just goes in one area and out the other. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. Can feel the brother's pain, man. Assalamu alaikum, Rukia. Yeah. So, look, this is a priceless lesson to everyone that, you know. So yeah, this is a sad situation. And every young brother, look, the brother's 25, you know what I'm saying? And this is a big problem. So, and that's, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I think parents, this is a problem, is that we need to break the cycle of where parents have this crazy dowry or mahar, what they call it, I think, in other languages. Like, they got this crazy dowry to get married, yeah? That has to go. Yeah, we have to get people younger. We should try to get brothers and sisters married off in their late teens, yeah, in their early 20s, yeah, and so that they don't fall into zina, yeah. But the whole thing is that this whole thing of making marriage like so expensive. People are gonna be committing zina before they get married. We got to get rid of it. The older generation who came from back home, they're stuck in it. A lot of them are stuck in their ways. So, like, maybe they're not gonna do it. But for us, younger brothers who are raised here, you need to stop stop this cycle. If the price is already high, people are not going to get married till later. If they don't get married till later, and they're in a country where they see all this fitness and stuff like that, they're going to commit zina. That's it. Yeah. Your daughter's going to get married. Your daughter's going to get married, or she's going to commit zina. Yeah, at a young age. So it's better you know who she's doing it with and know the family with, and you help her to get married. Same thing with your sons. There ain't no thing staying a virgin till, what is it, 30 or 40 or whatever you want, or late 20s. That's not going to happen. It's impossible. You see what I'm saying? It's a joke. It's a joke. You keep on living in your false modesty and your false, what is it, bloody, yeah. Keep thinking that you, like, she's just gonna be a good little girl, or you're just gonna be a good little boy until, what is it, 30 or 40 or this, that, and the other. It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Inshallah, we need to make it easier for them. You know? So, but yeah, anyway, this is a prime example of, you know, why we should, one, help people to get married younger, two, you know what I'm saying, lower the dowry, yeah, and just aid people to get married. We're living in the West. It's not easy, you know what I'm saying? There's fitna left, right, center, you know what I'm saying, and so forth. Even social media now, wallahi, man. There used to be a stage where there was there was birth, childhood, and adulthood. Because of social media and smartphones with access to internet, there's just birth and adulthood. Kids don't get a chance to be children. Their innocence is robbed from them. From, like, as soon as they get a phone, their innocence is robbed from them because they see everything. I mean everything. So the whole thing is, at the end of the day, is that we just got to break the cycle, man. The older generation are stuck in their ways, and they got a lot of stuff that's not from the Quran and Sunnah and from back home culture. Yeah. So this high dowry, massive dowry, and this, that, and the other, we have to be the generation that breaks it, you know, inshallah. Brother Hussein, I'll go live, I'll contact. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, inshallah. Okay. Okay, did you hear what Imran Hussein has been saying? What has he been saying? Celtic Salafi. Saladin bin Solomon, it's a good idea, but you gotta know what's more important to parents than even what? Salahuddin, it's a good idea, but fam, you gotta know what's more important to parents than even the husband and wife weddings. I don't mean that. Nomad. I Nomad, what are you saying? What are you saying? The nomad, I mean overall in general, not just for this topic. Not always. Yeah, you have to respect your parents. You have to maintain manners with them, even if they're wrong. You can't disrespect them, but you don't have to follow what they're doing when it's wrong. Yeah. So, but it sounds like his father's gonna kick him out anyway, regardless of what he does. I mean, Salaam alaikum, Osman Aslam. It sounds like the brother doesn't have a choice anyway. His parents are gonna the his yeah, but look, at the end of the day, his parents are gonna kick it. There's no debate. His parents are it's not there's not a choice. There's not like either you stay at home, yeah, and don't move with the girl when you can stay at home. His parents aren't saying that. He's saying that his parents are gonna chuck him out regardless of what happens. You might as well diss the Prophet and the angels if you're taking riba because you're going to water them. Then his parents are bad parents. Why would you kick out your own? It's called culture. They're gonna kick it. They're gonna no, not really, not really. His parents aren't bad parents because they want to kick him out. Because zina is a big thing, and having children from zina is not a part of our deen. It's something to look down upon. Not the child, but the act of having kids outside of marriage is something to be frowned upon. So the parents aren't wrong for being disgusted with that act. Yeah, maybe kicking him out is a bit extreme, but they're right to be upset because zina is not something we're proud of. What do you mean? The father the father of zina can't go near the child because he's not mahram, right? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean you can't go there? He has to look after his kid. He's responsible. No, we can't shake women's hands. The Prophet said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that it's better for you to be hit over the head with an iron bar than to touch a hand of a woman who's haram for you. And so forth. No, we're not allowed to shake hands. So anyway, guys, if that's it, I'm off, mate. And kicking him out is just like a bad reputation. If you come in with a girl, then you can't go there unless you get ready to go. No, that's not right. At the end of the day, yes, it's haram for you to be with the girl because girlfriends are haram. Yeah? But at the end of the day, you have to look after the child. It's your responsibility. So if you don't go near the child because she's with the mother, then the baby, what's going to happen to the baby? You're not going to be able to look after her. And looking after the baby, yes, it's a sin. And the baby came from sin, but it's your responsibility now. Because if you just stay away from the baby in total because she's a woman and she's a girlfriend and she's not your wife and so forth and so forth, then basically Yom Qiyamah, when you're going to be responsible for not giving that baby dawah and raising it on his own. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a day. Yeah? So I'll see you later. I'll see you later, inshallah. Yeah. Cool. Take care. What'd you say? You know my parents, right? They don't even care what they see in me. You know my parents. Yeah, assalamu alaikum. Go live. Yeah. Alright. Jazak. Go live. Is the picture clear? Is the sound clear? Or is it bad? What? Swifter Productions. You see the sound? Is it clear? Is what's the quality like? Okay. Alright then, thanks, man. Jazakallah khair. Yeah. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow or the day after, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.